Hello everyone and welcome back to Australian Grand Prix weekend preview with me, Lissie Mackintosh. It's time. We haven't raced in Australia since 2019. I am so excited for this weekend. No, not just for the 4:30 AM wake up, not just because it's Danny Rick's home race and well, everyone loves Danny Rick, but also because there are so many changes to the Albert Park circuit, which I think is going to make the race much more enjoyable and much more exciting. Here's everything you need to know ahead of the Australian Grand Prix. The main changes that have been made to the Albert Park circuit are turns 1, 3 and 6 have become much wider. There are four DRS zones. There are 14 turns instead of 16 turns, and all of these changes mean that the cars should be around 5 seconds a lap quicker. As I have just mentioned, and as I probably will keep mentioning because it is mind-boggling, there are 4 DRS zones on this track. Let's do a quick recap of what DRS is. I know, it's like you're getting what the F1 does that mean in Grand Prix weekend preview. It's like you're winning not an iPhone, sadly, although I'm sure you're glad to hear that because I have got too many messages telling me that I have won like 28 iPhones in the last week. You're winning a double whammy. What the F1 does that mean? DRS, let's go. DRS is the drag reduction system. The rear wing of an F1 car is extremely important in generating downforce. Downforce is essentially the force which pushes the F1 car into the ground. It's pushing the tyres in, it's giving the tyres a lot of grip, but that comes with a lot of extra drag, and that drag decreases the car's top speed. Now, you may have seen the rear wing of an F1 car. Other than the fact that it is a great marketing tool, it's also very important because it acts as an adjustable rear wing which aids in overtaking. So you may see the rear wing of the car kind of looks like this, and when DRS is enabled, it kind of looks like this. So DRS allows the flap of the rear wing to move horizontally, reducing drag, increasing top speed, and therefore aiding in overtaking opportunities. What will happen is 2 cars will go through the DRS zone, and if the car behind the car in front is within 1 second of the car in front, DRS will be enabled and he will be able to use his adjustable rear wing to hopefully overtake the car in front of him. Now, this becomes an issue in races such as the 2021 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, where Max and Lewis were both too damn stubborn to go through the DRS zone first. Max didn't want to go through the DRS zone with Lewis just behind him because it meant that Lewis would have had DRS on Max, because he would have been 1 second within the time and he would have had DRS and he would have taken. Here are 3 things I think you should be watching out for this weekend. Number 1, let's look out for someone special. Starts with S, ends with Sebastian Vettel. Let's be real, we're all excited to see Seb back in the car, back on the grid, back racing after he missed the first 2 races of the F1 season due to COVID. Number 2, look out for who is bringing car upgrades, what those upgrades are going to be. Fernando Alonso is taking his 3rd internal combustion engine already. That's the last one he can take without having a grid penalty this season. Keep an eye out for reliability issues. I'm also talking in terms of overheating. The weather is going to be hot. Let's see whose engines overheat, whose engines have problems, and let's hope that Daniel Ricciardo does not retire like he did in Saudi Arabia and like he did in the 2019 Melbourne Grand Prix. On the topic of upgrades, Red Bull and Mercedes are expected to bring some car upgrades. There's a lot of talk about Mercedes bringing a new rear wing to the Australian Grand Prix, talking about DRS. And finally, keep your eye out for the Alpines. As I said in my last video, their racing at the moment has been really interesting to watch. Also look out for the Alpine because they've changed their car colour. That's the end of the pink car. Their special pink livery was only going to be run for the first 2 races of the season. I'm going to do a quick predictions. For me, those are Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, and let's go George Russell. I'll see you all very soon.